Okay. It says we're going live. Let me just wait till it pops up over here on my other computer. Let me refresh.
Okay.
Refresh. Okay. We are live. We are live. Another episode of the DTP Show. I'm so excited to have Kim on. I was just telling her before we went live, I was like, I miss you so much. So before we dive into all of that,
Yes, yes.
let me just kind of tell you, like, I don't have a intro yet, but this is like my little pre-intro to the so the DTP show is all about featuring our design to profit students. So my name is Amber Crudup. I am a self-taught brand and website designer, and I help other brand and website designers build, grow, and scale their design businesses, going high ticket, all that good stuff. And this show is dedicated to our students to highlight and showcase their journeys and their experiences and everything they've been able to accomplish in their design business, because we want to empower, we want to inspire, and we want to motivate all of you designers out there to do the same thing, to know what is even possible for you. Because I know as designers, we really don't know like what is actually possible. So we want to really highlight that on the DTP show. So let's go ahead and dive in with Kim. Oh my gosh, Kim recently
Hey.
graduated from DTP, so that's why I said I miss her, because we went from seeing each other, Kim, like twice a week for a
Yes.
year, because the program is a year, to
Right.
now you've graduated. Oh my gosh, and I miss you so
I miss y'all energy and y'all support and just the community. It was just one of a kind for
much.
sure.
Okay, we miss you. Like it's such a bond that is created, but you
Yeah.
know we stay following each other, supporting each other.
Right.
So let's take it way back, way back. I
Okay.
want to say, I was it February or March of last year? I think it was February.
Yeah, it was after New Year's because after New Year's you have all these resolutions.
Yep,
So it was definitely February area.
February. Okay,
Yeah.
so I remember having a conversation, Kim. So you came into my space. You know, you were interested. You applied for Design to Profit, and you were approved. You know, you went through the process. But then you decided you didn't want to join. I want to talk about
Right.
that. So you
Yes.
didn't join, but then something happened. So can you take us back, like, what led up to you wanting to join and
Mhm.
then deciding not to and then changing your mind? Can you walk us through how that went?
Yeah, so I knew I needed help. Like there was just no question about it. And I had worked with coaches prior to you, but I felt like I wasn't getting like the exact results that I wanted. And I was doing some research. I talked to some people and like I spoke to you. I was like, okay, I love everything she's talking about. But I think the investing part, like I think I shared this when I got into your program. I have such a scarcity mindset. So when I got into the when you like approached me and everything, I was like, am I worth the investment? I was like, that was like my biggest thing. It's like, am I worth this? And then I was thinking about, am I going to commit to this? Because once you spend your money, you're in the game. It's like it's game time.
You're in the
So I was
game.
like,
Let's go.
yeah, it's like it's no longer just on you as a coach; it's on me as a player to show up. So I
Right.
was so nervous about that, and then just bought a house. So it was a big financial decision, but I had to bet on myself. So I was like, look, I'm gonna make this investment because I'm gonna bet on me. Like
Yeah.
I'm just gonna choose me to just do my thing.
I love that. I'm going to bet on me. But really, even those questions you asked yourself before you joined, am I
Yeah.
worth it? That's huge. That is huge. And you mentioned a scarcity mindset. So when you come into the program, of course, like we dive all the way into mindset. Did you know, like pre DTP, that you had like a scarcity mindset, or like tell me about that?
Yes, I am known as the frugal or cheap person in my family. Like people, like I will have money and I'll be like, "Look, I'm living way below my means." I just have that mindset because I just want to make sure I'm well taken care of by myself. So I knew I already had that going into the program, but I didn't know like mindset was going to be a big part of the program. So that definitely helped.
Got you. Okay. So you asked yourself some questions. You already knew, like, spend it, and I get that. Like I was a money hoarder, so I totally get that. Like not wanting to spend, not wanting to invest, because it is a big investment, and you had just bought a house. Like I remember, and when you told me that, I was like, you know what? I don't push or force anyone. Like I'm not about that, but
Mhm.
like you really came with like that was a really valid reason, and like I didn't pressure you or anything. And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Whenever you're ready, just reach back out. So what like happened? I think, I don't remember if it was like a week, maybe two. It wasn't that long. But what
Yeah,
happened between, the saying I'm not gonna do it to being like, and it was so random. You messaged me, you
yeah,
were like, Amber, I'm gonna do it. I'm like,
yeah.
okay.
I
So
remember
what
that. I
happened?
remember that. I was like, I probably lost my slot, but you know what? Honestly, I had to do it on faith. Like I prayed about it and I had to really like look deep down because I was really stuck in my business and I kept telling myself, "Oh, you're going to go full time in this, but when?" Like it's so you could say it, but if you don't have a plan behind it, it's really just like a wish.
Yeah.
So after like praying about it, I was talking to like my boyfriend about it and everything, and I was like, "You know what? I'm just gonna do it. Like I might have missed my slot, but I at least want her to know that I'm interested. So when like the next round comes, I can like be kind of like the first one up there, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. So I was like, let me reach out. I don't care if I miss my slot. And you're like, I think I made it like just in time.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so it was like, yeah,
Yes. Okay. So you prayed on it. You had to put the deep thought into it, and you decided that you were going to make this leap. Let me ask you before we dive into you having joined the program.
yeah.
You mentioned you had worked with other coaches in the past,
Mm-hmm.
but you didn't feel like you were getting where you wanted to go. How did that feel? Like knowing that there was somewhere you were trying to leave that full time job. You had these goals, you had
Yeah.
invested, but you just weren't getting the results you wanted. How did that feel?
Yeah, so it was a temporary happiness. Like it's kind of like I did see like temporary results, but it wasn't long term. Like there was no way I could sustain this. And just working with them, it was really like things you do, like trending things, if that makes sense, like
Yeah,
really short term. Oh, this is the trend right now. And I was just like, there's no way this like in 5 years I could still be doing this same type of business. Like it wasn't a process, it wasn't a system. It's more like this is how you grow on Instagram.
yeah,
This is how you price things based off somebody else pricing. So I was like, okay, this will help me for like 6 months, maybe a year. I can get away with this, but eventually it's gonna show that I don't have like a structure, a process. It's gonna show. So I was
yeah.
like, ooh, might not be the best for me.
You brought up such a great point. You said it was basically like trending stuff. What comes to my mind are tactics. So there's
Yeah. Oh yeah.
strategy and then there's tactics. Strategy is
Yes.
the long term, the well thought out plan, step by step. And the
Mhm.
tactics are those, here's what's working, let me do something really quick. Like it'll work
Right.
today, but it might not work tomorrow.
Exactly.
That is such a great observation that's what
Mhm.
the difference was. Okay. Okay. So we were used to dealing with those trending types of strategies more so on the tactic side. And
Yes.
you knew that wasn't going to get you long term.
No. Yeah, I already knew just off the like what I was just seeing. There was the type of clients I was getting was like, oh, this is very. I don't want to work with these people, the same people in like 2 to 5 years. Like I can't sustain this. Like there's just no way.
Yeah. So when you say sustain, can you give me like a glimpse into like what it was like working in that type of kind of structure, right?
Yeah.
What was unsustainable about it?
Something simple, just as like the process, like how you price things. Oh, price it based off of your competitors. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know their pricing. I don't know why they price like that. I don't know if they have a team. I'm a one person. They might have 10 people, so they're going to have to charge like $10,000 to cover overhead.
Yeah.
If I'm not sure why I'm charging that, I'm going to look crazy trying to get someone to, make that payment. It's something like just, oh, get on Instagram and like follow this many people, follow that many people. Well, I could follow people all day, but if they're not my ideal client, then I'm really just having followers or just to have them. So it was just things like I can't sustain that going on because it didn't make any logical sense. Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't count my business on that.
Exactly. Oh,
Mhm.
that's such a valid point. And it's like we get told so much stuff to do. It's like, how do you discern what is worth listening to and what is not? So I'm loving your thought process. I don't think we've had this conversation before. So I'm loving
No, this
just,
is after DTP me. I grew a little
I
bit.
know, right? 'Cause I'm seeing this is the elevated Kim, the elevated, you put in so much work, and I'm loving just hearing how you're thinking and reflecting back. This is so
Mhm.
good to me. I'm like the mama bear. I love you guys so much, and when I see
Yes,
y'all
you're.
just making those strides and those steps, it makes me so happy.
Yeah.
So okay, really looking for something long term, looking for something that was going to create some sustainability.
Mhm.
So okay, you decided to join, and I think I remember, like, you jumped in, like you dove right in. Can you tell me, like, what did you notice that was different from the other processes you had gone through, the other coaches, the other programs? How was DTP different, like, off gate? What did you notice?
Yeah, the first thing I noticed, honestly, and I think it like irritated me a little bit, is because you made us slow down before, I was like, you got this. I was like, oh, we about to hit this hard. I'm about to be doing this and that, and you were like, hold on,
Pump the
let me get
brakes.
this out. You were like, pump the brakes. Let's get your mindset together first.
Mhm.
Let's even figure out your structure and process. So it was just like so much of like me wanting to run so fast to where I was like, I literally have to sit here and face limiting beliefs. I never thought about like, I need to face these things. Like that's the real things you need to figure out. And like pricing, like, why are you pricing? I'm like, girl, I'm pricing because of the industry. That's how they price. And
Right,
it was
right,
like,
right.
no, that's not, even though your hourly rate, like, it was just like so many moments where I was just like, let me just slow down and really go through the process, because what's the point of just rushing to this and still getting no results? So
Ooh.
that was like the first difference I saw. I was like, oh, we got to actually take some baby steps first.
Yeah. I love that you said it irritated you. I wasn't sure what you were going to say after that.
Yeah.
But I totally get that because you come
Mhm.
in ready, like, just full speed ahead. And then I literally had a slide that says, you got to stop, you got to slow down. And, like, it's such a complete opposite approach that we take that
Mhm.
it kind of makes you question everything and everything
Right.
you've been taught. So I love that that stuck out to you. Was
Yeah.
there anything else kind of as you moved through? Because it is 12
Mhm.
months, and you showed up consistently, and I could see, like, the evolution of your questions, and as you were growing and as you were learning and as you were getting that clarity, I could see the level of questions that, like, changing. So is there anything else that kind of stands out about DTP and the way we do things, even later on in your journey in the program?
Yes, actually, there's a lot, but just like some key things that stuck out to me. Like as you said, as I evolve, like once you slow down and actually get your processes down, you obviously going to get to a new level. So
Hmm.
I think once we got to that next level, of, okay, I'm not just a web designer, brand designer. I'm a business owner. Like I'm not just out here throwing together websites and
Yeah.
logos. I'm actually creating strategy and structure, and that was so like it was empowering to me because I finally got into the driver's seat with my clients. Like I'm not about to design a logo based off of something you've seen on Etsy or Pinterest. Like it needs to be thought provoking. So I think that really changed. And then just as a designer, learning to stay in my own lane because it's so easy to get caught up on Instagram, Pinterest. So much is going on. I remember like just coming to the program having an idea. And I remember you just asking like, what is your purpose behind this? Like
Mhm.
is it just something that popped up in your mind, or is it something you want to pursue long term? I'm just like, you know what? I saw this on Instagram last night. Let me not bring this to the group. No thought behind it. And I really love that you made us actually like, don't just bring ideas to the group, like bring something that can actually not just make you money, but just make it more valuable, make it something like you're really passionate about because this is your business. Like, so I really enjoyed that just going through the program.
That's so funny because same thing, slow down, right? Coming
Yeah.
with the new ideas, like, if they're always like, we're always having ideas, but we ingrain that that concept of slowing down, and it
Mhm.
makes you think about things a little bit differently before you take an action. So I
Right.
love that it's just like it's a part of you now.
Mhm.
Let me ask you, because I know when I'm talking to other students, they mention their life as well.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you've infused any of like what you've learned in DTP into your life as well? Like I can see you're thinking differently as a
Mhm.
business owner, but as Kim in other areas of her life, like has that been impacted or affected at all?
Yes. One of the books that she suggested us is the Essential. I think it's the Essentialist or Essential. I think
Essentialism?
it's the
Yeah,
Essentialism. Yes,
yeah.
I read that. Like as soon as you like recommended it, I bought it off of Amazon. And just reading, like I kind of got an idea of like how you think of how you're very like it needs to be essential, like the one thing, like you don't need to be focusing on 1,000 different things. And I think I incorporate that in my life today. Like even when I'm like pursuing things, like what is the purpose of this? Is this like going to be your one thing? Is it going to be 1,000 different things? Just like slowing down this year, I took a lot of things off my plate that just didn't serve me. Same thing as my business. I know I had a whole buffet of things and I took them off my business. I did the same thing in my life because it
Ah,
causes like stress and anxiety for no reason. So I think that has like definitely stepped my mindset up in just every aspect.
I love that. I just love to hear just the growth. And it's not just business. Like the
Mhm.
fact that you're able to apply this across the board in your life, um, it elevates you, right? Like,
Yeah.
and I say this all the time. Like, you cannot elevate your business and not elevate your personal life as well.
Right.
Like there
Mhm.
has to be alignment, there has to be harmony and balance. Chaos and thriving, like they cannot coexist. So the
Right.
fact that you've been able to infuse what you learned in DTP into your life, you're taking off stuff on your plate that doesn't serve you and that's stressing you out. I
Mhm.
love that so much because it's not just about your business. We don't
Yeah.
start our business to work around the clock. So I just love that you are creating a level of balance in your business and your life.
Yeah.
So good. So good. Okay, let's see, what is my next question? I just get so caught up in, I'm so like emotional right now with everything.
It's good to catch up. Yes.
Yes. Okay, so here's my next question. I kind of got thrown off.
Mhm.
So we're seeing changes. You're elevating your thought process, you're elevating your mindset, you're elevating the way you work with clients, all the things. Can you pinpoint a moment when you realize like, dang, DTP is working, like this has done exactly what I wanted it to do? Or was
Yeah.
there any moment like that that happened for you?
Whew, I think it was, well, the first one was when I booked like my first two high paying clients, I think maybe a month or two after starting the program. And I was like, at first, I was like, these prices are kind of high. Nobody's going to book these. Like, just because of limiting beliefs, we
Yep.
were like, yeah, yes, this makes sense. Like, it was just, I was like, hold on, DTV onto something. Like, this is how you not only price things but position yourself too, because I was missing that aspect. I knew like, okay, pricing, but positioning, I just sound like any other
Yeah.
brand or web designer. So that was like the first thing, just seeing that people actually value what I'm bringing to the table.
So not only did you increase your price, and I don't recall, do you remember where you started at when you came in and what that first client, those first two clients, do you remember the price point? I don't recall off
um
the top of my head.
when I came in, I wasn't charging no more than like 1,000. That was like a full page. It could be like 12 pages. It was in branding and everything.
Yeah, all
And
the
then
things.
it was like everything for like $1,000. And then when I got into DTP, I my highest package was 4,825, and I sold that one. And then I did like a smaller package too, which was still over my 1,000 price. I think it was like 1,500. So I was like, okay, we can make some money in this thing.
Yes,
Like, yeah,
yes. So
yeah,
people will pay for it.
yeah.
It's so interesting because like a common thread that keeps coming up on these episodes is it's not just that we increase our prices. We actually increase them and are able to sell at the increased
Mm-hmm.
price point.
Right.
So you mentioned something. You were like, okay, you want me to increase my price to X? That's a lot of money. Like, how did it feel? How did it feel to know you were raising your prices and it felt a little like out of reach, like you didn't quite believe it, and then someone bought it? Like, how did that all conspire?
Honestly, when it happened, I kind of felt like I was a little angry at myself for one. I was only angry because I didn't believe that I could do it. And
Mhm.
there is nothing, at least to me, that is like pisses me off than when I could do something, but I don't believe I can do
Yeah,
it. So it was the fact that like, wow, Kim, you could have done this. You could be doing this, but you don't believe you could do it. So you're just going to be sitting there charging whatever you think you should
yeah,
charge. So I think that was like an aha moment. Like I have what it takes. And then just being able to follow through because I had a process and like a system. So it wasn't like, okay, here's the price. No, I had some to follow up with. So I
yeah.
just felt like I got my confidence after the anger. I got my confidence back. So I was like,
So you
here we
got
go.
mad,
Let's
then you
do
got
this.
confident.
Yeah, I was like, let's do this.
Yes. And I say that all the time. Like, it really just takes that first client to pay that higher price point for you to be like, oh, okay. So it can be done.
Right.
It's that belief that you just need that validation sometimes, and then
Mhm.
from there it's like, okay, I can do this.
Right.
Yes. Okay. So let's see. We've increased the prices. You said 34. It was 40. So basically, you four extra prices. You went from about 1,000 to, you said 48. That's almost 5x.
Yeah.
Almost 5x. Okay. All right. So let's look at this. So prior to DTP, you were struggling to figure out how to price and sell that higher price point.
Mhm.
And now you've done that.
Right.
So how did that change things? Like, how is your business different? How is your life different now that you're able to charge? You believe that you can charge high ticket. You are
Yes.
charging high ticket. You have a process. You've taken clients through the process. Like, you're confident. How is life different now? How have things changed?
Things have changed because I'm now in the realm where I can scale my business, which I did not know what any of that meant prior to DTP. When you hear scale, you think people are just charging these astronomical prices, but scaling is more like having a system that you can elevate to the next level and also duplicate, like bring someone on that can duplicate you. And that's where I'm at in my business where, yeah, I still work full time, so I'm not like hitting it as hard as I want to, like when I go full time, but when I'm hitting it hard, I'm on the money.
Yeah.
Like, I'm working with clients now and I'm just like, okay, I know when I need to bring in people. I know how to hit an actual revenue goal. I didn't know that. Like, really? How do people making 10K a month? People be like, oh, you make 10K a month. How are you making 10K a month? They're not talking about, oh, they have revenue goals in place and they bringing in clients at a certain time. And now I have this mindset, like, if I want to hit this goal, I need to bring in this many clients. I want to bring in like help. Okay, well, I could duplicate myself, and this is where I want to duplicate myself at. So it's just like I'm in a scaling mindset for the first time in my business. So I feel good. Yeah.
I love that. So you made a comment. I think it was on your last coaching call. You were like, "I came in a cub, and I'm leaving a lion." Like, can you explain a little bit what did you mean by that?
Yeah, when I came in, I just felt so new and so just like inexperienced, like in this whole business side of web and brand design, honestly. And I was just like so intimidated. I see people that's doing it. I'm just like, I don't know how y'all doing this. Maybe y'all just lucky. But then when I left, I'm like, okay, maybe I'm not where they are at now, and I don't really want to be. I want to be in my own realm, but I'm like, I can run with the big dogs.
Yeah,
Like, I
yeah,
can see myself working with those top brands that I want to work with and charging those prices, and I just feel like so confident in what I'm doing, which is like, okay, I'm a lion now. Like I'm not inexperienced. I don't feel so new. I feel like I'm here. I arrived. Thanks.
yeah. Love that. Oh my gosh, I rise. I'm here. Hear me roar is kind of what I like when you said that. I was like, yes, Kim, yes, because you you have elevated so much. Like from when you came in to graduating, it's like a whole elevated person. Like I keep saying elevated, but that's what it is. Like you're the same
Mhm.
person, but it's just so like you've gotten there's so many more layers to you that were already there, but you now understand them, and that
Yeah.
positioning piece that you mentioned. Like that's
Mhm.
key. And it really is the key to everything. You can be the best thing since sliced bread, but if don't nobody know about you, it doesn't matter. And that's
Right.
really where that positioning comes in. So I wanted to share real quick
Mhm.
when you signed up, I have a little questionnaire for you for the DTP show. And I wanted to share the three breakthrough moments that you highlighted here. So,
Okay.
number one is having a process and structure. That's everything for you. Um,
Yes.
this one was big. You cannot take full responsibility for someone else's success. I want to talk about that one really quickly. And
Okay.
then the third breakthrough that you had was saying no and sticking by your boundaries is a must. All of those are so huge, but I do want to talk about you can't take responsibility for someone else's success. Tell me
Mhm.
about that because we had a lot of conversations, not just you, but just in the group in general
Yeah.
about our clients' success. So,
Mhm.
what is your view on this?
Yeah, so it's just like when you are hired to do a job, you want to see it through. You want to make sure that they hit the goals that you guys talked about because you do take them to like a goal strategy call, a brand strategy call. You like kind of immerse yourself in their business, but eventually, if they're not willing to show up, like I work with clients who just never launched. I worked with clients who launched and then their business fell off. So I will feel like, oh my God, did I do everything I needed to do? Did I, encourage them enough? Did I push them? But I have to stop me like, hold on, they hired me to be a part of their business. I am not their business, and I cannot take full responsibility for things that they failed to do or don't want to do. So, honestly, as a service provider, that can weigh on you heavy. You can go to bed tossing and turning. And I was like,
Yes.
I can't do that. I can't. You didn't launch because you didn't want to launch. You didn't continue your business because you didn't want to. And I'm just a brand and web designer bringing you strategy, helping you see your brand in a new light, but I cannot, be your business. So that definitely helped me a lot.
And just even knowing that is like a weight off of your shoulders. I even felt a weight off of my shoulders just you saying that because you're right. As service providers, we are so like we want to see our clients win. We want to see them reach their goals. And when they don't do what they're supposed to do, we then take that personally like we didn't do our jobs. And
Mm-hmm.
that's where those boundaries get crossed where it's like, well, let me do more work so I can help them more.
Right.
Like we feel like we didn't get them the result when we did everything we were supposed to do.
Yes.
And it's
Mm-hmm.
like you have created because of that thought a clear line, a clear
Mm-hmm.
boundary of what your job is and what the client's job is. And it
Right.
really there's no emotion there. It is what it is. And
It
if
is.
we want
Yeah.
the result, then it is a partnership and you have to come to the table
Mm-hmm.
knowing that there's certain things you have to do. How has that approach changed the way that you work with your clients?
It has changed a lot. Honestly, I don't put that type of pressure on myself anymore. I put pressure on myself to do what I need to do. But as far as them doing what they need to do, I don't hold that pressure anymore. Of course, I'll send my reminders. I will, send them things that I need to send them. But as far as like when it's time to go, hey, this is your business. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna push you, but I'm not gonna pressure you. But so that has helped me a lot. Just kind of remove myself from the business and just be human and live my life because I can't have your business on my mind 24
Yeah.
7.
Yeah, and it's like it's when you were describing it, it's like babysitting. It's like sometimes you have to
Exactly.
babysit your clients, and I know in our space, like that getting content piece, the last leg of launching, kind
Hmm.
of can feel like babysitting, and we take that personal. And I just love
Yeah.
that you are no longer responsible for that. Like you have
Hmm.
removed the responsibility. If your client doesn't do what they're supposed to do, that's on them because you did
Right.
your part. How
Hmm.
empowering and freeing is that?
It's So freeing. When I tell you I took some stress off of me, my skin started to clear up because at one point I had a little adult acne. I was like, look, some of this stuff got to go from my life, and it's other people's drama can't be my drama.
Right. And it's like, I say this all the time. We start our own businesses to create this level of freedom, flexibility, and then we end up doing the opposite. And literally, it can affect our bodies
Yeah.
physically, it can affect
Mhm.
our mental. Like, it is not that serious, right? Like, for our businesses to be able to take a toll on our health. Like, no,
Right.
no.
Exactly.
You took the power back in your business, Kim.
Yes. And it feels good. It does.
And you getting paid to do it.
Yes.
Yes, that's a win-win-win for everybody. Like, everyone
Mhm.
is winning when you can have those types of boundaries in place, because your client is now responsible for their part, right? And
Yeah.
it's like, listen, if you want the result, this is all you have to do. You're laying it out for
Mhm.
them. And I mean, it is what it is. There can be
Right.
no word said if something didn't happen because the client didn't do what they were supposed to do. When you're letting
Exactly.
them know,
Mhm.
hey, this is your part. I did everything. I did all of my part.
Right.
That really, so many designers, if they would put that level of boundary in place, their lives would be so different.
It will be. It will be a lot less stressful and a lot less running around and doing the rat race of design.
Yeah, because that ain't it. That ain't it.
No, 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 not at all. No, no, no.
Oh my gosh, Kim, this has been so great. I've loved just hearing, like, just taking us back, or taking me back
Yes,
down memory lane, and how it all started, and just how far you've gotten. And this is still just the beginning. Like, a year
it
is
is.
really not a long. It's really not a long time.
Mhm.
Um, but so much can change in a year, and even a year from now, so much can change. Is there anything else you want to share with us? Or even if there's someone on the fence who's listening and they're not quite sure, like, what words of advice do you have for them?
I would just say somebody just on the fence, just about their business or just getting help. At one point, you have to go all in because it's either you're going to go all in or it's just going to be another hobby.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're frustrating your business or you're feeling like you want to get to another level and you can't get there, Googling, Pinterest, and all that can only take you like here, maybe here. Like, I don't know, but partnering with someone who's walked that walk, who's talked that talk, can take you like, honestly, working with you has put me maybe 5 to 10 years more forward than if I would have to do it myself. Because I would be like on Google, still trying to figure out how to price things and,
Yeah.
oh, let me go to Pinterest. What is brand strategy? How should that look? No, like gave me your years of experience. I feel like people don't understand that. Like,
Yeah.
take yourself to the next level. Like, just believe and invest in yourself.
Such a valid point. You said you've saved yourself 5 to 10 years. And you have, because I gave you the 5 to 10. It took me 10 years. It took me 10 years to figure this stuff out. I am proof that if you try to Google it and YouTube it and figure it out on your own, yes, you can figure it out, but it is going to take you a very, very long time. And
Right.
to circle back to your point where you were like, once you landed that first high ticket client, you were angry at yourself. You were mad at yourself because you could have been doing it. You could
Yeah.
have been doing it, right? And I think about that too. Like, if it didn't take me 10 years, if I would have, I didn't know where, like, really back then, I say it like back
Yeah.
then,
Mhm.
online coaching wasn't a thing. So, kind of, it was a different time, but like,
Yeah. Mhm.
still, that could have changed the game. Really, one investment can take you to two, three, four, five levels above where you are, because you didn't have to make those mistakes on your own. So that's such
Right.
a great piece of advice that you've shared.
Mhm.
Um, Everything that you've shared, Kim, I again, I've missed you so much. I'm so
Oh, no,
proud
we can
of
help.
you and everything you've been able to do, everything that you've
Thank
accomplished.
you.
And again, like, this is just the beginning. I'm just so grateful for you, taking that time to really think about what you want in your business, and take the time to, to pray about it, and be thoughtful about, your
Right.
intentions towards your business and trusting that, you know what, this is what I need. So just thank you for taking that leap of faith in the program, in me, and showing up and doing the work and just being so amazing and being coachable and listening and implementing and all the things. Like, the growth is obvious. I see it.
Yeah.
You know, I know your clients, they see it as well, just because like your business is completely transformed. You have processes and
Yes.
systems and structures
Yes.
now to actually serve the clients. So I'm just so grateful for you coming on, sharing your story. I hope that this has inspired someone out there, empowered them to believe in themselves, to know
Mhm.
that, you know, this is possible. Yeah, we're special. Our DTP students are special, but everyone is special. We just help you pull it out and help you
Right.
spotlight it and shine the light on it.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
so before we wrap up, I do want to have you share with us, where can the people find you if they want to connect with you, Kim?
Yes, y'all can find me on Instagram at KFI Web Design. You can visit my site, www.kfiwebdesign.com. Yeah, y'all can mainly find me those two places, and I look forward to hearing from y'all.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of the DTP Show. Thank you, Kim, for sharing your story. I'll be sure to, I'm going to tag you so they can find you as well through that
Yeah.
link really quickly. And yeah, we'll definitely have to have you back on and see what all has changed in another year, because, like I said, this is just the beginning. It's only up from here. So, cannot wait. Thank you, Cam, so much. We will see you
Thank
guys
you.
in the next episode of the DTP Show. Bye.
Bye.